Achieving balance as a woman. Ooh, so important to us. Why do we think about it, talk about it, moan and groan over it so much? Why did we spend so much time in our first conversation talking about the gifts you have as a woman? And then we talked about in conversation 2, the misconceptions that we need to be aware of that really can throw us off balance. Why are we thinking and talking about this? Why am I even creating this series? Well, not only is your health and well-being as a woman so dependent on whether you're feeling in balance or out of balance, but all those primary relationships in your lives, the ones that are just so important to you, the health and well-being of those relationships are also on the line. They're also very dependent on whether you are feeling balanced or not. In WifeSavers, we talk about the woman who is balanced, or in any given moment is feeling pretty balanced, remaining upright and steady, like we talked about in our last conversation. That woman is the woman who has the capacity to respond to her loved ones. That means she can respond to whatever's going on, whatever interaction or conversation or situation she's in a big-hearted way with intelligence and creativity and generosity. That's responding, and that is a balanced woman. As opposed to the woman who's not feeling so balanced in the moment. If she's not that rock solid inside, she's going to default to insecurities, which are going to cause her to feel out of balance, a little panicky, a little out of control, and the teeniest, tiniest stress is going to inflame those insecurities and stress her out. And guess who suffers? Guess who suffers when that happens, when you're out of balance? That's right. all the people that you care about and that you love the most. They're the ones who are going to suffer. Do you want that to happen? Do you want the people in your life to suffer because of you? Of course not. You would rather be the first kind of person, the first kind of woman who is not going to just react from the gut, but is going to respond for their sake. She's going to use all her intelligence and her emotional resilience and wherewithal that comes from feeling balanced in any situation. She's just going to be able to think on her feet instead of reacting from the gut. All right, so how do we become her? How do we feel balanced more often than not? Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody. It's going to take some education. That's what you're doing here right now. Congratulations. It's going to take some education. You're going to have to build your understanding, your know-how, your skill set, and that's what we do specifically in the WifeSavers Course and Community, which you are always invited to join. And one key foundational principle or skill set that we learn in WifeSavers is this: romancing your heart. Isn't that a pretty phrase? Romancing your heart. What does that mean? Well, it's really simple. Any woman can do it. Every woman loves it. All you have to do to romance your own heart is to go get happiness. Fill yourself. Thrill yourself. Become your own fairy godmother. That just means that we're not, I repeat, not going to depend solely on him, on that man in our life. We're not going to depend on him for our happiness, for his actions and his affirmation and his affection. We're not going to depend. That's all very nice, but we can't depend solely on it. All right? Husbands learn. They really learn quick, very early in the marriage, that we as women have a ravenous craving or appetite for affection, attention, and affirmation. But if he said, I love you and you're beautiful or you're so right, darling. If he said those kind of phrases every day, every hour of every day for the next 50 years, it probably wouldn't be enough to totally fill your bucket. Husbands can sense that. They know that. Every time he does give us a little bit of that, it's like candy, right? And you just want more, more, more. So I am telling you the secret, the big secret here. Fill your own tank by taking responsibility for your own happiness. You're going to romance your own heart, and then then he can top you off, right? You give yourself, fill up that tank 75, 80%, and then let him top you off. Now, there's a simple way to get started or to keep up with this habit of filling your own tank so that you can avoid disillusionment and disappointment and disconnect with all the important people around you and in your life. And instead, you're going to be able to give from abundance while receiving that love and attention from others with confidence. There's a simple way to do all that. And you know what it is? If you're one of my students, you do. But if you don't, you're going to learn next in our next video, in our next conversation, because I think you're ready for that. You're ready now that you know your 8 gifts as a woman, and you know the 5 misconceptions you need to be aware of. And now you know the importance of taking responsibility for your own happiness. See you next door in conversation number 4.